In the meantime, it is your turn, and there's no need to do anything with the music because it's already playing.
I mean, that's always nice.
Yeah.
All right, this story is called The Demon in the Window. This, it's apparently a true story. It said this happened to them a few years ago. Actually, the story was posted 4 months ago, so this said 2 years ago, so 2022. One seemingly uneventful and average evening, I was exiting my mother's room after the usual banter and joking we have to go watch some anime. Across the hall on the left, 2 doors down, was my own room. Nobody was home besides me and my mother. A black shadow, very tall, caught my eye quickly, scurrying into my room. I had to do a double take. I wondered if it was my dad, but he was out bowling, and all my siblings are 6 or 7 years older and married, and they live in their own homes. I've had some strange paranormal experiences in the past, but to see some sort of figure walk into my room absolutely shocked me. The thought was maybe it was my eyes playing tricks on me. But a day later, something else happened. My boyfriend heard all the stories from me and laughed about it. He was a pretty big skeptic. He refused to believe in spirits and demons actually roaming the earth. He believed that there were demons, but they were in hell, and they couldn't physically interact on Earth. He laughed at me and said it was BS. I didn't tell him about the figure going into my room because I didn't want him to laugh at me about that. I just said that I had seen something. So he was over, and we hung out as usual. We were cuddling, watching TV. And then all of a sudden, he decides he's got to go home when it wasn't even 10:30. And I was having curfew at 11, so he had plenty of time to stick around. I followed him out to his car thinking I upset him in some way. He kept staring at my house in the direction of my window as we were talking. We said our goodbyes, and he headed home in a rush. I went to my room, overthinking, and thinking maybe he was going to dump me. I was a 17-year-old girl. I was dramatic. As soon as he got home, I got a FaceTime notification from him. First thing I heard was, hey, I didn't want to freak you out, but the second I got home, my mom said she could sense some sort of unpure energy. I didn't want to scare you, but I felt very strange, and while we were outside, I saw a jet black figure staring at me through your window. Just to remind you, I didn't tell him that there was a black figure that walked into my room. He didn't believe that stuff anyways. I'd never seen him so shook up like that. So it still creeps me out thinking about it.
Hearing some weird sound. I don't know what it is.
Might be a monster.
Yeah, it might be a demon.
Also, I forgot to mention that this person did say English wasn't their first language. So that all the weird grammar mistakes in that wasn't me. That was just the way it's written.
I honestly just thought of it as a teenager.
Yeah, that too.
When you said 17, I was like, oh, well, that makes sense then.
Yeah.
So this is not in the States, we don't think?
I believe they're from Mexico.
Gotcha. That's a creepy thing. I feel like that's a pretty, I don't want to say common, because not everybody has something super crazy like that happen to them, but...
No, but we've seen some other stories about shadow people.
Yeah, exactly. Just walked right in.
Yeah, and then it was staring at that one boy through the window.
Did he recognize it then, or was it later?
Saw it then, and that was why he was leaving.
Oh, okay. I thought somebody said they sensed something, or...
Oh, his mom sensed something unclean about him when he showed up home, and so he decided to come clean and tell her that had happened.
$1 million question here. I wonder why the boyfriend didn't warn her before leaving. That's what I was thinking too.
They did also mention that they're no longer their boyfriend, so I think possibly she dumped him after this.
Well, I mean,
if I would, if I was in her shoes, that was kind of a douchey move.
Somebody said, by the way, now that I'm gone, there's a demon out there.
Yeah.
That would be pretty crappy, man. I'm not going to lie. That might hit it off, right? Like, you didn't look out for me enough to, like, I'm not going to, somebody that I didn't even like, I would tell them there was a demon there.
Yeah.
I love somebody I liked, you know?
Yeah, it's like, Hey, by the way, there's a demon right there. So maybe we should leave.
Anyways, yeah, thanks for joining us live here. We're kicking off. I'm on a 3-part story of the Circleville Letter Writers, and Luke is cutting in a few stories in between. We just had a shadow person walk into a cuddle session, as Luke phrased it.
Yeah.
So yeah, no longer together after that. The boyfriend leaves in a hurry, saw a demon, shadow figure. Do you think, what are shadow figures mostly associated with?
You know, a lot of times it's something like a feeling, like a dark feeling on the house. Usually it's like everyone starts feeling like more depression and anxiety, stuff like that when they're around.
Like that story where we heard about there was the boyfriend, the kid was telling the story about how when he lived with his mom and her boyfriend that he was started getting more angry and all that. So you think it is demonic? Is that like a common thought, or?
I would think that is a possibility because usually they affect the feelings and the spirit of a person. So yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Some sort of demonic presence.
I'm just glad they've never had anything else happen again, right? It's just said.
She didn't say anything recently. No, she said this was like 2 years ago and didn't mention there was another thing yet.
It would make you wonder if it was real though. Like if you never experienced anything again, like was I, like on the thing that I talked about, like what happened with me, go back to the one, I think it was episode number 1 of this show. It was such a weird thing where I was like, did this actually happen to me? I don't know. To this day, like it makes you question yourself. It didn't happen again, so there's no real validation, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point. Who knows? You know, maybe you don't always perceive it, and it might just be something that is affecting you a little bit deep down. At least when you're in the presence of the same building and everything like that.
Right. That's a neat little story. That's a short, simple one, but
yeah, I felt like it was a nice palate cleanser.
It definitely would be terrifying if you're actually in that situation for sure.
Yeah.
Thank God I'm not.
Yeah.
Jeff Townsend Media. CG, good night.
And the question is, do I stay here? Will you be back? Are you gonna come back? Will you be back? Are you coming back?